Cam Ward officially made his debut last evening. Me and my brother, we're going to give you our thoughts because you always have some. So thanks for joining Titan Bros Network. Good evening. We're here, and by we, I mean my brother and I. And what are you smirking at?
I was scratching my nose, but when you came in, I hope they didn't think I was in the middle of
picking your nose. Yeah. Just flick that rascal out of here before the video starts. Yeah, I thought you was laughing at something entirely different because in the intro, I'm sure y'all saw a little square there at the bottom. This is some behind the scenes look. Every time I start that theme, I start dancing hard. But obviously, you people would never know what I look like dancing hard, being stupid. But the first time I did this on Restream, because the free version of StreamYard sucks now, so I had to go to something else. But there's that little square there, so I went live. I didn't know I was going to be down there, so I went live. I started dancing to the theme. Little did I know I was being watched. So that's what I thought you were smiling about. But we digress. This is all completely pointless talk. We're here. We're going to break down some Cam Ward, some other players, and all that, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, gotcha. I think we have a bad delay here today, so that's going to make for a interesting show because I said right, and you just sit there for like 4 seconds and said yes, sir. So it'll be great in that respect. So every network, every show, every whatever does this, where they do the tighten up, tighten down, stock up, stock down. Players on the rise, players on the fall. Like that's just what you do. So whatever you want to call it, that's what we're doing. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and knock out the elephant in the room. What do you think about Cameron Ward and his debut, which was, I think it was 8 of 5, like 60-something yards?
Did you say 8 of 5?
What was yours? 8 of, oh yeah, I did say 8 of 5. 5 of 8.
Yeah. In those 8 passes, those goods and bads, I think, and this is how I was going to be saying this because I want Cam Ward to be really good. A lot of people are really overselling those 8 passes in my mind. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, he definitely looks like the future is bright in Tennessee," and I'm like, he had some good passes. Don't get me wrong, but he had one that should have been picked off, and then he also had another one that if he just threw it 6 inches.
I don't know if you're losing him, he's losing me, or what's going on, but he is
pumped on him a little bit here.
I lost you a little bit. I lost you a little bit there for a little while. So hopefully it was nobody losing anybody, and I just couldn't see you on my end for whatever reason. But you're seemingly back now. The last thing I heard you say was do a drop pick, and then that pass after that was just barely not tipped. And then you froze for a second, or for like 10 seconds, and then you said, so let's pump the brakes on that. So I get the gist of what you're saying. The one almost pick that was, I guess, was more of an almost tip. Me personally, I just think that was a beautiful layered throw. Like that's a it throw where it's just over one guy, just right in that perfect pocket to Calvin Ridley. That's my opinion on that one. That said, the drop pick, that was bad. I don't know if it was a bad decision, if it was bad placement. I don't know if he just didn't see the guy, whatever it was. That was bad. And if he would have thrown that pick and that would have been the end of his night, then that could have been, we could be having a very different show right now, especially since Shedeur Sanders looked pretty good. Jackson Dart looked pretty good. Even Jalen Milroe, honestly, was, at least with his legs, was looking electric out there. So if all that was happening and Cam Ward had a 3 and out and then another drive where he throws a pick and calls it a day, we could be having a very different tone right now. But since thankfully it was dropped, those other passes were just beautiful. Just beautiful. Just looking calm, poised. In fact, sounds a little dramatic to call it shredding a defense, but like he was pinpoint with Calvin Ridley, and that's something I will talk about more in a bit. If I was giving him a letter grade, I would give him a B. I think because some people are acting like, what an impressive debut. A+ smiley face. Like, I just, to me, pump the brakes on that. And I'm a eternal optimist. But I don't think he showed enough in 8 throws to give him any kind of, especially when he didn't throw a touchdown and threw a drop pick. But I would give him a solid B. His first time throwing against people, minus 1 joint practice, throwing against people that's not Tennessee Titans players in the NFL. I thought he looked calm, poised. They were in and out of the huddle on time. Because remember, last year, Will Levis was not getting out of the huddle on time. Do you remember that? So the operation was smooth. The play call came in smooth. And all that was good. Had a drop pick. But I do love the way he walked down the field pretty effortlessly. And on that second drive and scored a touchdown. I really wish they would have let him throw it in instead of pound Tony Pollard up the middle 2 plays in a row. But still, he made some nice, good third down conversions. I give him a B, a good solid old B. What kind of grade you going to give him there, bub?
I'm gonna give him a B3. A B3.
B3. Are we playing some Battleship right now, brother? Oh, I get you froze again. B3. See, he keeps freezing. I don't know if that's his thing freezing or my thing freezing or what it is. This is good podcasting right now. Okay, sadly it is you freezing because I'm watching it on my phone right now and it is you freezing. Yeah. So whenever you do freeze, I'm gonna just start talking. So if you're talking and then just out of nowhere I start talking over you, it's because you froze and I was trying to carry the mantle, okay? Just a little heads up there.
I don't know why that's happening. It's like my Wi-Fi is always good until I start doing this and instantly it stops.
Yeah. That reminds me of the time you and I were both supposed to guest host on the Titan Upload Network. And
yeah, exactly.
Pre-show, you got in there and then your whole Wi-Fi went out. And then you never ended up getting in at all.
I do feel like it's something. I thought it was like it's just coincidence, but now I'm like, I don't think it is. But anyway.
It's probably because you're in the basement. Let's say a little look behind the scenes. Josiah, actually, we're both in our basements, our respective basements. So maybe your service just isn't good in the basement. So problem solved. I can't believe we just solved the case right here on air. That being said, B- or B3 is what you gave him.
B-. Because again, you and I disagreed on one throw. So I think he almost had 2 picks in 1 drive. I think the thing that made me like, okay, that's good. I like third down. He was huge. Mm-hmm. He made third downs except for the 1 throwaway. But I thought he was good.
The throwaway landed in the field, though. I don't know if he did that on purpose.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Actually, I didn't like that play out of him at all because of that throwaway. And also, he ran out of that pocket with a healthy-looking pocket. He ran out of it way too fast.
That was his second worst play, in my opinion. Was the drop pick. And his second worst play, I agree. He was perfectly protected. And then he rolled out to the sidelines for no reason. When he rolled out, that's when people were able to peel off the block.
Yeah.
So, and then the throwaway, he could have thrown it out of bounds because he was out of the pocket, but he just threw it in the field still. And I'm like, if you would just done that just a little bit different, maybe somebody could have went out there and got under it. But all in all, I'll take it. My biggest issue is I wish he would have gotten one more drive, especially with the first one being a 3 and out.
I do too, because I'm like 1 drive was 3 and out. 1 was a good drive minus a couple passes, but I'm like, so let's see 1 more and see what it looks like. But I guess at the end of the day, he has 2 more preseason games for us to analyze and talk about. But I feel like right now you have to say so much about 8 passes. You know what I mean? So I think you really do. It's hard not to overanalyze 8 passes. That's such a small sample size. But I'm going to just say, pump the brakes and saying he's amazing. But I will say he definitely showed his arm strength. He's definitely, because I don't think he was setting his feet very good, to be honest. And that just might be him because he can do it. But he wasn't on some throws. I'm like, set the feet, but he wasn't. He's throwing back feet and stuff, but he's still slinging it in, though. So he has an incredible arm strength. I'll give him that.
I was just about to say, I really honestly think that's just a Cam Ward thing. Because like a lot of times he just rifles that arm in there. And obviously this is way too early to say stuff like this. But that's the kind of stuff Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes does. They
Will Levis.
And no, I wouldn't say all that. Will Levis, he was very he looked like he'd be great at playing a quarterback in a movie. He was perfect, the throwing motion. He made one of the best throwing motions I've ever seen. Will Levis was just a structured, perfect looking of a quarterback as he could possibly be. He just sucked at playing football. Is his biggest problem. But yeah, it's like the whole off the back foot, just slinging it, or they're just kind of standing there instead of going all out. There's kind of just a little sling action there. Like that's Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes type stuff, and it's what Cam Ward did in college. So at least for now, they're letting him get away with continuing it. I like it. I personally like it. But we're 10 minutes in, and we've been talking about Cameron Ward the whole time. So
well, let's be real. That's what most people want to hear about.
that's mostly what people want to hear, and it's most of us were watching, if we're being honest. And I feel like Cam Ward does this with the NFL, and he even does it with us some. We don't discuss him enough because we're just like, so what player are we most excited to watch? Well, obviously it's Cam Ward, so we're not going to use him. And then what's going to be the biggest X factor of the 2025 season for the Titans? Well, obviously it's Cam Ward, so we're not going to use him. And we do stuff like that all the time, so we actually just neglect to ever really talk about Cam Ward. Have you noticed that? It's not just us that does that.
I would say that about today's game. Oh, sorry, yesterday's game, last night's. Cam Ward, he was the thing that we was excited to watch, and we watched. But after he went to the bench, we usually after that game was a crappy game. There was not much to talk about.
It was, and let's go ahead and just move right on in with that to our stock up and stock down. We'll just take turns being positive and negative. We didn't actually plan this. We'll start off with a positive. I'll do a stock up. I'll do a stock down. Then you can do a stock, or we'll just both do a stock up. Then we'll both do a stock down. We'll do it that way. My first stock up of the night is the entire starting or people who started for the Tennessee Titans offensive line.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, we can just co-say it then, because that line, I think they said they gave up 0 sacks, 0 pressures. Dan Moore had a really good, it's like 82 PFF ranking or something insane. So like that O-line, the starting O-line was.
Here's my, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, here's my thing, and I agree with you. That's something I took notice is that Cam Ward was well protected, and I really like that. Now, one thing is I saw a Titan reporter, Titan guy on Twitter saying that the Buccaneers did not play many starters. They had a lot of backup. Now, don't get me wrong. That's what you expect your offense to do is dominate the backups. Like, it'd be really bad if they allowed pressures, but they didn't. They did the job, and they did it well, but it wasn't like they was going against starters. So I that took some of the shine off for me, but still, all in all, our 5 linemen that was playing, I thought they played well. They protected the quarterback, which is huge when you have a rookie quarterback.
Yes, and amen. So stock up there. So my first stock down, and this is when we'll go ahead and co-sign as well, because I think we both are fully aware that this is where we're going to go. Our backup quarterback situation is so atrocious to the point to where I don't know how Brian Callahan and Mike Bergonzi and Chad Brinker are supposed to know who to keep and who to cut, because we didn't get a good look at Io Manor. We did not get a good look at Chim DK. We did not get a look at, honestly, at all with 11 snaps, Xavier Restrepo. We honestly didn't even get a good look at Gunnar Helm, who had 1 target, 1 catch for 14, I think it's 14 yards. We couldn't see what any of our pass catching options were, because both of our backup quarterbacks, and especially Tim Boyle, was so stupid bad. Where I'm like, we didn't get anything. Like even James Prochet had a strong camp. We didn't know what he could do on offense because we didn't get to see him do anything besides just run around and watch Tim Boyle throw the ball either in the dirt or to the other team.
He was so bad. To be honest, Tim Boyle is so bad. I'm like, he looks like he doesn't even deserve to be on a practice squad. So bad. Like he was missing not 15-yard passes. He was missing 2-yard passes, and I'm not being dramatic when I say that. That pick
screens. He could not hit screens.
That pick he threw was right to the guy. I mean, don't want to take nothing away from him because he was super excited about it. But like that pick literally went right to you. He was so bad. And I'm assuming Callahan and his staff and the GM, they're going to have to make their conclusion on who to keep and who not to keep by camp, because I don't think these preseasons you're going to see anything.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I get it. There's the question if Cam Ward does go down, do you really want to win games? Well, don't worry. If you don't want to, you got the right guys.
Yeah, like I'm not even joking when I say this. If Tim Boyle was our starting quarterback for the whole season, I would predict not only us lose every game, but get murdered every single game.
Yeah, he's so bad.
Like that's like I watched rookie Malik Willis. This was the worst quarterback play I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, he literally could not hit like a 3 or 4 yard peel out by the running back. He was just
Nope.
missing them.
Yep.
I'm old. I'm kind of short, at least ever so slightly shorter than average. And I could have been making those throws. I could have made those throws. I'm like, how can you not hit somebody right there?
Yep. He was horrible. You couldn't see nothing. Um, that was just a hard game to watch because our defense didn't let like every drive that they had, they would be like 10 play drive. And then when we get the ball, we go 3 and out. Like it was such a horrible game to watch. And I want to
It
be
was a
so excited.
horrible watch.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
want
We
to be
were
so
so
excited.
excited. My wife made buffalo chicken dip. She made brownies. We had soda. We were just like junking out watching that game. But it was so boring after Cam Ward stepped out. Agreed?
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought you was gonna say more. No, I agree. I just feel like I'm glad we had all that stuff because without those snacks and stuff, that would be a horrible day. Man,
Awful, really.
that was a terrible game. That was a terrible game. Minus Cam Ward watching him, because Allen wasn't Boyle bad, but he didn't really do much either though.
No, if I was handing out grades for all the quarterbacks, it'd be B for Cam, D for Brandon Allen, F.
If you could be
Whatever
worse
the
than that.
worst is. If there's anything worse than F, then that's what Mr. Boyle had. But yeah, it's my first stock down. I think we co-signed the stock down as
Yeah,
well.
so about we stock up, stock down the same.
Okay. Now next we'll stock up somebody else. I'm going to say stock up, and this is I feel like I'm just saying the same things everybody else is saying. But James Williams, I think stock up James Williams. Like he really has been in the driver's seat to be the starter. But I
thought
think
was pretty good too.
I think he pretty well solidified it.
And to be honest, yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, so stock up for me. It's hard to say because we didn't have any stock ups. Mullins, I thought Mullins actually looks really good. He actually powered like I know he's a power back, but he was breaking through arm tackles and he looked pretty good. When our offense was completely dead and lifeless, he actually ran good. His very first run for us was horrible, to be honest. Terrible. I don't know if you remember it. It was like a throw and run. And
Yeah,
he
it
just
was
made,
third and
lost
one,
the
and he
yardage.
did not hit the.
No.
He looked like he was trying not to do too much and bounce out and just get the yardage, but he had such a clear and easy
Yes.
bounce out, but he was just keeping his head down and not having good vision at
Yeah.
all.
But after that, I was very pleased with him. And you know what? He might have more playing time than we thought with Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
But anyway, but Mullins, I'm going to say him. An unexpected one to say, but I thought he had a good game. Because there's very few Titans that you could say good game, and I thought he had a good game.
He did. And honestly, I'll just go make my next stock down. The person you said, Tajay Spears. It's looking like it's a high ankle sprain, which means that cart was very dramatic. But it's looking like it's a high ankle sprain. But it's just been the story with Tajay Spears. He looks like he's so shifty, fast, explosive, but he doesn't play very much. Whether it's his knees, whether he's getting concussed, now it's his ankle. It's safe to say he's injury prone.
Yeah.
And it's which is sad. He's such a nice young fella, and he's just like the coaches love him, his teammates love him, but he's just I don't think his body can hold up in the NFL. And it's one of those situations where this is his year 3. He'll probably play this year. He'll play out his 4th year next year, and then he'll just walk and just.
If I was the Titans, and this is gonna sound dramatic off of one preseason game, but he's been hurt so many times though. It's time to start thinking because honestly, Tony Pollard, you're not gonna have him for too much longer. Like it's time to start trying to find who can be our back for the future, you know. And I know, we don't have to get ourselves a Derrick Henry. We don't have to get ourselves a Chris Johnson. We can move from those days, but you still want who's your number one back? We need to find out who that's going to be for the future. Because if Cam Ward's our guy, hopefully we have Cam Ward throwing a lot more passes than we're used to throwing. But you still need a good run back. But look, ask the Eagles. That helped them a lot.
Yeah, 2,000 yards, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. That was your stock down.
Yeah, so I'm sure you got a stock down to throw at me.
I was thinking about Tajay Spears as well. I'm going to go with actually the opposite one because I still saw him get cooked a couple times. They had a touchdown where it was his fault because he was just weak. He got there. But Cedric Gray does not look special. He doesn't look good. Like, he never got a chance. I saw him miss a couple tackles. I saw him in that one touchdown he hit. I think it's the very first touchdown they had. He hit the guy behind the line, but he literally just got bull rushed and they ran in for the touchdown. And I was like, not one time I've ever in my life said that was a good play by Cedric Gray. Not once. And he got benched by a guy who just went to linebacker. Like Cedric Gray should have a big leg up on that competition. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think the coaches see it too. That they like instantly did not like him. And I just think Cedric Gray is not. Sadly, he's not going to do much. And a lot of people talked a lot about him when we drafted him in the 4th round.
It's true. A lot of people are like, I can't believe he's sitting there in the 4th round waiting on us. Lucky us. I was actually, yes, lucky us that James Williams looks like he's going to be at least
Yeah.
intriguing starter for
Yeah.
this season. So stock up to the one, stock down to the other.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can both come up with more stock up and stock down before we get out of here because it's already been 20 minutes already. All right, let me think of a stock up, stock up, stock up. Oh, duh. How did we forget this one? I think it could be the biggest stock up of the day. Calvin Ridley. Will Levis was never on the same page with Calvin Ridley all season last year. And already, him and Cam look electric. I don't know what his over-under set on with the betting apps, but if you're a betting man and you take the over, because I think the last I saw was stuck at like 900 or something, 950.
I would say this. I agree with you.
But
I think you have too much stock in Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley is a fine receiver, but he's not a top 10 receiver. Never have been and never will be. And so I'm like, he's gonna be around 900 yards to 1,000. Like he's always, even when he played for the Falcons, he disappeared at times, and he's like, what, like you, because he has the skill set. You're like, what happened? He's just kind of always been like that. I remember working with a Falcon fan, and he said the same thing about Calvin Ridley. He kind of did that last year. Now, Grant, you could say is Will Levis, and I think he's gonna be good. He does look like he has chemistry with Cam Ward, but I just feel like he's gonna be fine. But let's not be thinking 14 or 1,500 yards. I don't know if that's what you were thinking or not.
no,
But
not
yeah,
30.
all right. So that's good. But anyway, so stock up for me.
I'm not done talking about Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, I don't think he's going to have his 1,300 yard season like he had with the Falcons. And I also think a lot of times he disappears because they just threw it to Julio Jones 20 times a game. The fact that he was able to get 1,000 yards with Trevor Lawrence having a horrible season and then had 1,000 yards with Mason Rudolph and Will Levis throwing to him is a testament to Ridley. Is he perfect? No, but he is one of the best route runners in the NFL. He is stupid fast. He has drop issues, but clearly Cam Ward loves him some Calvin Ridley, and he's gonna honestly maybe even force feed him the ball, which I would rather that than just Will Levis go 3 quarters without looking at him one time for really no reason at all. So if I was putting money, I'd say probably about 1,100 yards is what he'll be getting, which will be the best receiving yards season we've had in like 15 years or something. Probably Drew Bennett. Because even A.J. Brown, I knew A.J. Brown was better than his stats said, but the 3 years he was with us, he barely broke 1,000 twice, and then he had 800 or 900 his other year is all he had. So A.J. Brown never popped off stat-wise for us, even though I knew he was better than his stats showed because he'd get like 5 catches a game.
I would say I know coaches get comfortable with veterans, but I don't know about you. And it's not like Iomano did anything really special in that game, but I wish Iomano would just be our number 2 on the outside and put Lockett in the middle, and then obviously Calvin Ridley. I just feel like Jefferson doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, that's the one guy, if I could just cut right now off our roster, I would love to cut Mr. Jefferson. He might be a fantastic
take
man.
Reps from the people I want to see,
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I really want to see Chim. I want to see Alec. Of course, now Chim's more of a slot guy, though he can play outside. And mostly it's for Io Manor. I want to see Io Manor play. We're not going to be that good this year, probably win and lose wise. Van Jefferson and his 280 yards ish a season, that's not doing anything for us. I want to see Alec Iamaner grow. I want to see somebody that's not Brandon Allen or Tim Boyle throw him the dang football. So yeah. anyways, that was the end of my Calvin Ridley rant. So you got one more stock up in you?
I was trying to think, and I don't think I do, but because no one on defense really splashed too much besides Williams, and you hit that. And I was trying to think defensively.
Yeah,
We have one guy who he was flying like a missile, but sometimes that was a bad thing. That 24 guy, what was his name?
I don't even remember.
He popped on my screen some. Like he was decking people, but also he was a little bit of a hothead. I saw him push his teammate and slap some teammates' hands. I'm like, dude, you just hate everybody. I think.
He was
Like
all
you, I
juiced
don't
up.
know who, what
He
juiced
was
up.
all juiced
Actually,
up. Yeah.
here's a guy. This is random. This is my third stock up. Might as well say, I saw. I always forget his name. Is it Lynch?
James Lynch.
I thought
Yeah,
I saw him pop off my screen some. I don't
he
think he
did
ever
that. He
got
did
sacked.
some.
I
He
saw
did that
some
some last
rushes.
year.
Okay, so I saw some rushes, and I saw a couple, maybe a TFL, or at least nothing else made the running back have to bounce out. Like, but he popped off on my screen a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. Good on him. Good on him. He's a good depth piece.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and end the video with some negativity and let's throw out one more stock down, and I have to throw it. And it's not even his fault. Maybe it's Callahan, or maybe it's Tyke Tolbert, the wide receiver coach. But stock down Restrepo.
I knew
He's
you
not
would
even
say that.
he's not even getting a chance. He gets 11 plays, and Tim Boyle's the quarterback. We're not giving him a chance.
Yeah. Tim Boyle doesn't give him a chance, and I don't like that at all. I think Restrepo is good, and I just think we haven't given him a chance. I think he's a good game day player, and sadly, if you have Tim Boyle thrown to you, you're cooked. You just ain't gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Stock down. Let's think about that. How about Jalen Duncan? I saw him allow a couple sacks. And I was like, that guy absolutely sucks.
Yeah, I don't know where
That
we
was
find
another
these
guy.
tackles.
What?
I don't know where we find these tackles.
I don't either. If we ever started him, he would have been the next Daly and what's the other guy's name?
NPF. Here's the thing. He's
another
off.
one. Dillard.
Daly, Dillard, Duncan, like they're all so awful. And he might actually even be worse because he's technically their backup. Like he's Dillard's backup.
Yeah,
he's
that's true.
NPF's backup. So yeah, he's so stupid bad. But yeah, I guess that's our show. Somehow we did manage to make this one almost a half hour long.
We always do.
We always do. Is there anything positive or anything else you want to add before we get out of here? Because we just started off talking or ended it by just talking terrible about those tackles.
Let's just hope next game's a better game. And I don't mean just for Cameron, but I mean just a better watch. And we get to see more players. The defense was on the field too long, so there's not too much you can say about defense in a positive way. The offense will just go 3 and out. It's just there's not much to watch though. Because here's the problem: you have to sustain drives to be able to see everybody you want to see. So 3 and outs, we wasn't seeing everybody.
No, it really wasn't. And one more quick thing I'll say before we get out of here. Stock down the entire second and third string defense because those long 12-minute drives were just that was one of the things that made the game even a worse watch because I'm just watching people that are gonna be jobless in a couple weeks, allowing a team to slowly walk down the field. It was just
like I said, kudos
awful.
on our defense for getting them to throw downs, but they would make every single throw down. And it was such a slow game. You're just like, holy crap. But yeah, that was a tough watch. I'm never that bored on the very first game of the year. I'm never that bored, but boy, is that bored.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
Last stock down. Tampa Bay Buccaneers people that's in charge of the field.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
They were, not just Titans, but both sides. They look like they sometimes running a little gingerly. They just slipping and sliding. It's just like, yeah, dumb.
Yeah, didn't love it. Didn't love what I saw.
Yeah,
but
next game's in a dome, so that should help.
Should help a lot.
Rain, mud, nothing like that.
Yeah, who knows? We'll get some Penix or some Kirk Cousins or somebody else. Which if they play a bunch of Kirk Cousins against second and third string Titans defense, they are gonna eat.
Actually, to be honest, that is honestly, they're gonna destroy us because whoever plays out of those two, they're gonna be good backups. You know, Kirk Cousins or Penix, they're gonna be destroying our defense.
Most likely. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got for this video. Everybody, thanks for joining in. Tighten up, peace out, and all of that jazz.